Realistic leaf painting with watercolors, and in this tutorial I will show you the painting process of an apple leaf. We already painted this apple. I will leave a link up. And now we have in this composition a little apple leaf left on the upper corner of this paper. Taking my color palettes and starting with the first watercolor mix for this leaf, and I'm taking Sap Green, Ultramarine Blue, because I can see that the leaf green part is a little bit closer to the blue side, adding lemon yellow and little touch of alizarin crimson to make this green color more earthy green, but you need to be really careful with alizarin crimson not to add it too much, then the green mix will instantly become brown. For the second mix I'm taking Sap Green, Ultramarine Blue, that is for the other side of the apple leaf that we see, the back side. A very watery mix. There's also a little touch of alizarin crimson. And the third mix is Sap Green together with Perylene Violet, more Perylene Violet to make more richer green color for the shadow part. Adding a little bit more of alizarin crimson to the first mix and Sap Green to make it more vivid greenish color. Now we can start painting. I'm taking finer tip brush because that leaf is very small. It's like 3 centimeters, maybe 4. And applying watery layer. Be sure that your water after mixing watercolors is clean and you have this first layer of water very clean and transparent. And starting with the first mix, which is Sap Green, Ultramarine Blue, Lemon Yellow and a little touch of alizarin crimson. And first layer is very transparent and watery. I'm just applying the first layer to get this painting process to started. I'm not too worried about veins because this first layer is super transparent and veins are in the same color that this first layer is painted. Taking the second mix and applying backside of the apple leaf, but still in this first layer both colors look quite the same. I will leave the backside much lighter and add more layers to the upper side of this leaf. But still first layer is just to cover the surface of the painting. Be careful with the outer edges. We have those beautiful edge lines for this apple leaf. Be sure that you look carefully at the reference. In this tutorial I placed the reference in the tutorial so you can see for the guidances, but I always encourage open the reference right beside the tutorial or on the other gadget if you have this opportunity, and really zoom in closer the reference so you really see the details, the edge lines, how the tonal values are built, where they are, where are the lightest parts. I have the reference for you to download and you can really look into the reference because it's not more about the technique that you are painting, it's more about observation skills of the reference and what are you adding to your painting. While the surface is still wet, I'm adding the darker parts for the upper part of this apple leaf using the first mix and painting with the very tip of the brush, carefully putting watercolors and pushing them where I need it, looking at reference and noticing where are darker, where are lighter parts. If you paint it too dark, you can always, while the surface is still wet, wipe out the vein parts with a clean and dry brush. You wipe out the vein very nicely while the surface is still wet. I'm speeding up the painting process. The full tutorial is on my Patreon, links are down below. The whole painting process took 25 minutes to paint, from the beginning touches to the finishing touches. We just finished painting the sleeve, and here I would like to show you how much watercolor mixes are still left in my color palette. That is because I'm painting with professional watercolor pigments, which are so rich in pigment that you don't need to mix really big and saturated watercolor mixes. Thank you for being here, thank you for painting with me. I really enjoyed making this tutorial. See you in my next tutorials. Bye bye!